Hey family, how y'all doing? Welcome to Mantle Motivations podcast. I'm your host, Dominique Bishop, and today I have Aly Jae Alexander. How you doing, love?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Again, of course, I always got to say this when I got somebody on there from Thornwood. Shout out Thornwood alumni. Same
Period.
class as me. Yes. This must be Thornwood week, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me read you Miss Aly Jae's bio. All right. So Aly Jae was born on the south side of Chicago and primarily raised in the south suburbs. She is a pro freelance makeup artist specializing in bridal events and just started working in TV and film. She was a lead hair and makeup artist this past January for the indie movie The OG Bootcamp starring Giovanni Samuels. Aly is also a beauty and comedy content creator. She's been into makeup since she can remember. Her mom sold Mary Kay when she was younger, and she used to play in her samples all the time. That's adorable. Acting was also a major love of hers. She starred in her first play at the age of 8. Aly was Dorothy in her grammar school play for a Black History Month spinoff of The Wiz. She then combined her two passions together to create a unique platform mixed with comedy, beauty, and education. Aly's goal is to create a space for other freelance makeup artists to thrive and take control of their career. Right now, a space only exists for artists who work in TV and film. She wants to change that. Aly is a mother of a 15-year-old, and that is her heart. She is a typical millennial mom where she doesn't take anything seriously, but she makes space for her to be herself, have boundaries, and reciprocate respect. Amen to that. Aly's life didn't pan out the way she thought it would. She thought she was going to be another Beyonce, but Aly is happy with the space that she is carving out for herself in the entertainment industry. Welcome to Mantle Motivations, Aly Jae.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, of course, I read your bio, but if there's anything else that you would like to tell the people, go ahead.
Oh, I have been a professional makeup artist since 2008. So I started with Clinique Cosmetics as a counter manager. So a lot of my, traditional skills come from there. And then the rest of my skills were kind of honed on their own by like just going in and just watching other makeup artists and listening to the things that they do. So that's what started it. And I kind of gotten thrown into it. Like that wasn't really the objective. There wasn't the goal. The goal was actually, when I became the counter manager for Clinique, was to leave the job that I was at prior and become a manager. That was the original goal. Okay. And I was like, oh, I'm beating faces. Bad.
I heard that.
So, and I actually slid into TV and film. Like that also wasn't a goal. Okay. The goal, of course, was always to get into the entertainment industry, acting, producing, directing, all the things. And my friend Giovanni Samuels hit me up. She said, "Hey, we filming a movie in your city. You want to be the makeup artist?" Yes.
That's what's up.
And we shared an Airbnb. That was back in January. And me and her was there. I was there making sure everybody looked good, touching up all the faces, making sure hair was disheveled. It's a very funny movie.
I love it. I was looking it up today. I was trying to see if I was able to watch it, but I did see the trailer for it. It does look hilarious. I have to say that.
You're a
y'all gotta go check it out. Y'all gotta go check it out. I was gonna say, is it still up? Like, can you play it or can you watch it?
So it hasn't been released yet. We haven't had a release date yet.
Okay.
We are shopping it around to film festivals. So that's where people can see it right now. And then eventually we'll start shopping it to other places. I believe Hulu and Netflix came up, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that.
She said, "Don't quote me on that." After she said,
"Don't quote me on that." I feel like I heard that through the grapevine, but I know for sure we're starting at film festivals first.
Okay, that's dope. So this is an exclusive.
Yes, I can tell you what it's about. It is a comedy talking about the orgasm gap. Specifically with heterosexual couples. So they found that the orgasm gap for heterosexual couples was
pretty large.
Yeah. it's filmed kind of like how they filmed The Office or Parks and Recreation. And so it's
I
them
love
at a
that.
boot camp trying to get these men to figure out how to please their woman.
Get it
That's what you said.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. That's what's up. And just in case, I know who Giovanni Samuel is, but she's from one of my favorite shows from growing up, All That. Right. And she was on some other stuff too, but I know she's really known for All That. So
Correct.
just in case, people got question marks in their head. Giovanni Samuels, amazing actress.
Amazing.
Hilarious as well.
Hilarious. Because when we
Yeah,
shared that
I saw all that. Y'all already
Airbnb,
know. Yeah.
that we shared an Airbnb,
Yeah.
Clown Central.
Oh, I believe it. You
We
and
cut
her
up.
together.
Oh yeah, we cut up.
That is what's up. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So
Thank
I
you.
wish you many more. That's just gonna be the beginning. So that's what's up.
Beginning.
Shout out to Hulu and Netflix. Come on, y'all, pick it up.
Yep, pick that on up.
All right. So, growing up on the South Side of Chicago, how did your upbringing influence your passion for makeup and acting?
Oh, honestly, it's something I remember my mom told me when I was 3. They recorded me. I don't know why they had a video recorder. They recorded me singing Stephanie Mills, I Feel Good All Over.
Oh,
And I couldn't, of course, talk real good. So it
uh,
came out, I Feel None On Over. Um, but it started there.
perfect.
And then my mama also told me I had an obsession with Janet Jackson's Pleasure Principle video. I constantly flipped off that chair like she did in the video.
Hmm.
And I just kept, it just always was like, I want to perform. I thought I wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
I don't now.
Okay.
Um, but I wanted to perform. I wanted to act. I wanted to be in all the things. And like I said, my mama let me play in her Mary Kay samples from time to time. And I remember having my very first movie audition at the age of, I think it was 9.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Because we went to go see The Lion King right before that. And then we went
Okay.
downtown and it was
Yeah.
for Matilda. I didn't get it.
Oh,
I
oh,
know. But
that would have
it
been.
was for
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Because
But I
that's a
did audition for
classic.
Matilda. And my parents were really still like, yeah, go ahead and push that forward. And by the time I got to Thornwood, I was already like, theater. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to the theater department. It's there. And I also tried out for American Idol while we were in Thornwood.
Really?
The one Kelly
Okay.
Clarkson one. I did. I went all the way downtown.
How did I not know that?
I was very much missing from school that day too.
I got you. I got you. Where's Aly? She downtown auditioning.
I was, yeah. I
That's
went with
dope
my
though.
sister's best friend.
Okay.
He was
That
my
is dope.
parent.
You got to play the cards right. You got to play. So did your parents know that you went? Oh, they did.
She took us
Okay.
to the train. Mama took us to the train. She called me out of school and everything.
Oh,
But he
okay.
was my
Good. So, yeah.
parent because he was also going to audition too. So she
Oh,
was
your
like,
mom?
yeah, no,
Okay.
my sister's best friend was auditioning as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how he ended up being my parent figure because I was 16.
Yeah.
And then I also came back to the school because there was I feel like there was some kind of Mother's Day special we were doing or something like that because it was at the end of April. It was the same day Left Eye passed away. So whatever day Left Eye passed away,
Okay.
that was the same day I went down there for the audition because we found
Gotcha.
out that morning on the radio.
Yeah.
And I came back and I ended up having to sing at that too. So everybody was like, why weren't you in school? And I was like, I was auditioning for American Idol.
It's like I had things to do.
I had things to do.
And school was not one of them.
And
That's
then
what's
I went to Illinois State for theater. And then I got caught up in working. So that delayed me a lot, but it's okay. Everything happens
cool.
for a reason.
There you go. I was just about to say that everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man. So your mother sold Mary Kay, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you
Mm-hmm.
were younger, like you said. I think you talked about this a little bit, but let's just make sure. So how did that early exposure to beauty and the beauty industry shape your career path now? Or did it have
Oh,
anything to do with it or
I don't think so. Like what? Because honestly, me playing in makeup, I didn't really take it seriously as a child. What really shaped it was Clinique. When I finally got to Clinique and I realized how much, excuse me, I realized how much I liked applying makeup onto people, but I didn't like doing it for one specific brand because there were things about Clinique that I didn't like some of they eyeshadows, I couldn't stand them. I was like, oh, I hate these eyeshadows, but I'm gonna use them because they're not gonna let me use another brand. But
Right,
I knew right then and there that I liked putting makeup on people. I just wanted to be able to do it with products that I liked, that products that I knew worked.
right.
So I knew my presence there wasn't gonna last long.
Understood, understood. And since we're talking about makeup, of course, we have to acknowledge the face, okay? Because she did that, right? And you want to tell her what you told me before we started?
It took me 45 minutes because I was rushing.
Hey, she beat the buzzer, baby, but she did it. That's what's up. Beautiful, beautiful face.
I looked
Um,
up because I actually recorded a get ready with me video for this podcast. And
okay.
I was in the process of doing that, and I looked at the time up and it said 4 o'clock. I said, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. So you will see a video of me rushing to get ready for this. Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. So, you want to tell the people what you're wearing?
So I'm wearing a lot.
Okay.
The foundation I am wearing is by Urban Decay. It's the Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator, medium coverage, up to 24-hour foundation. It's a lot of words.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I actually mixed it with this
Uh-huh.
because I have a red undertone.
Okay.
And this has a gold undertone. So in order to not look like a Oompa Loompa on camera, I had to mix this down
Okay.
so it looked like me.
No, go ahead, because I'm learning. I'm like, I don't really do makeup. I don't know if you can tell. I haven't done makeup since like high school for senior
Did you wear makeup for
prom.
prom?
Huh? I
Did you wear
did.
makeup for prom?
I did. I did the whole thing for prom
I
because
remember you being in a dress for prom.
yes, definitely
I
had on a
remember
dress,
that.
had a little tiara, everything. Because in my head I was like, this is probably gonna be the last time. So as far as makeup goes, I've been
Hmm.
learning stuff like from my past girlfriends and of course from my wife and everything. She teaches me certain things, so I'm learning certain things. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So because so a lot of the undertones, I'm Louisiana Creole. So
Okay.
a lot of the undertones for me, because as Black women, I'm sugar cookie complected, but I'm not high yellow. So in my complexion range, they like to make me either neutral or gold. And I'm like, where's I need red. I need red right here. So I mix it down with this blue pigment so
Mhm.
that it can take away that gold undertone and make it more neutral or cool. And so it looks like the point is to match my chest. So we're matching this
Gotcha.
right here. So I
Yeah.
look uniform.
Yeah.
I also have on a bronzer because again, sugar cookie season. So this is Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a beautiful bronzer.
Yeah.
So I put that on the highest points of my face to bring warmth back into my face.
Awesome.
Um, I have on lashes. I threw those on. I feel like those are from the beauty supply store though. Yep.
The best
Um,
one. Hey, it's
listen,
not
the thing when it comes to makeup artistry, we use what works. So it's not always high end. Sometimes it's drugstore. Sometimes it's beauty supply store.
yeah, yeah,
So especially with my clients, I know I could get those beauty supply store lashes very quick and very cheap. Them 79-cent lashes, they go a long way. And then I
yeah.
could get a variety for them.
Uh-huh.
So I
If it ain't
usually
broke,
just
don't fix it. Yeah.
and don't. So I know on the brows it's NYX and L'Oreal.
Uh-huh.
It's like I'm gonna still use that. Sir John uses L'Oreal. I'm gonna use L'Oreal. That's Beyonce's makeup artist. Okay,
Okay, okay.
I listen to him as well too. And then one oh Jesus, One Size by Patrick Starr has an ultra pink setting powder that
Mhm.
works very well for my cool undertone. Um, and I love Patrick Starr because he also understands complexion.
Mm.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he's Filipino. So he understands complexion, he understands
Yeah.
undertones, and he has such a wide variety from the lightest of light to the darkest of dark. And this works beautifully on me. So
Okay.
that's some of the products that's on my face.
That's what's up. Thank you for sharing. Who who are some of your favorite makeup artists? Do you
Oh,
have any
I do.
or not just makeup artists, but also like I know you mentioned a couple of names of product lines.
Got you. So makeup artist concerned, Sir John, of
Mm,
course,
right.
chef's kiss. Pat McGrath.
Okay.
Pat McGrath is a black makeup artist out of the UK.
Mm,
Her products are expensive, but they are beautiful and they are very much worth it.
yeah.
So those just two that I could think of off the top of my Jackie Ina. That's another one. Jackie Ina.
I if you had brought her up, I was gonna say her name and ask you about her
I
because
love
my
Jackie.
wife has been following her too for very long. When she first started on YouTube, because I think she's like one of the originator, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
she's been in that same crew with Patrick Starr because Patrick Starr was out big at the time of her too.
Hmm.
Yeah, they run in the same circle. So yes, very much Jackie and I love her down. Gloria, that's on TikTok, dark
Uh-huh.
skin, beautiful dark skin woman. Love her too. She the one that had that YSL controversy with the blush that had the white pigment in
Mm,
it.
okay, gotcha,
She's amazing. I love her.
gotcha, gotcha.
I love her. I was mad they tried to run her off the app. I said, you bring her back. You back up off my Gloria, ma'am.
And that's one
Huh.
thing. And that's one thing about TikTok. I know when you be on there, you gonna check some people. I love it. I love
And real.
it. That's what's up. Um, what was I getting ready to say about makeup? It just left my
Oh,
mind
you
when you
did ask me
started.
about brands too. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
ask
yeah,
you.
brands.
So one size, loving this powder. I haven't been able to try everything, but I definitely tried this. This is beautiful, and I feel like I'm running low, so I need to go re-up. My man got me some money to Sephora, so I'm gonna go shopping soon.
Okay, okay.
Um, Fenty, of course.
Yeah.
Riri did her thing with Fenty. Makeup Forever is a great line. NYX is a great line. It's one of my favorite drugstore brands.
Okay.
L'Oreal is really good. I get a lot of stuff from them in PR. Their brow lamination that I use, beautiful. Love it.
Good. Okay.
So I advocate for them. Morphe is also really good. And I do like Juvia's Place sometimes, depending on what it is. So yeah.
I definitely know Morphe. I bought my wife some Morphe before and some Urban Decay and
Hmm.
Kat Von D.
Yes.
Her line. She's got a good line too.
Yes.
Um, so you've been around makeup since you were a kid, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I know back then you really weren't paying attention to it as much as you are now. But
Hmm.
we know, just like times change, things have changed. So um how can I put this? So back in the day when makeup was out, there was a limitation as far
Hmm.
as coverage, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
now there's not, right? So that transition um played a big part in expanding the makeup industry. So with you
Hmm.
working in TV and film, can you kind of talk about that a little bit? As you get what I'm saying? As far
So like
as
the color ranges and things like that and
the color ranges
accessibility.
and the change. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's still actually a lot of work that needs to be done
Is it?
with
Okay.
that. That we saw that with the YSL situation. Because putting white pigment in blush is weird because it's gonna come off white on anybody.
Mm,
And part of the problem with that was that even on the palest of pale, it still wasn't working. Like
yeah.
it really only worked with people with like albinism. So it's like, but you said this was for everybody. That's
Right,
not
right.
computing. Why would you put a white pigment in a blush? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because blush is supposed to mimic blood underneath the skin.
Mm,
So that's kind of the point. It makes no sense for you to put a white base underneath it. So
right.
there's still some work that needs to be had. What we're starting to realize now is that a nice handful of brands are kind of almost intentionally creating controversy with shades so that we respond to it so they could come out the hero and fix it and then everybody buys their product. And it's very rage baity
Some
and
money grab.
it's a money grab. And it's like, can y'all just
Yeah.
make it? Because this is stressful. And like now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just completely ignoring certain brands. Like the brand that made the foundation shade that was completely black.
Hmm.
Yeah, no. I'm ignoring
Oh
you.
wow.
I'm ignoring you because that's not gonna work on anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's still a lot of work to be done, but what I have been able to find that it does help me widen my kit. So one of the things that I experienced with working on the set of the OG Bootcamp, we had white people, we had Hispanic and Latina, and then we had Black people, and they were like from light to dark. So I was able to use a lot of my product because I had so much versatility. Laura Mercier is somebody that I've worked with before. I have a lot of their products, and they have a nice, good shade range of a lot of different things, specifically their loose powders. So I had literally had a loose powder for everybody. So I
Okay.
was like, perfect. I can put this loose powder on you. I can just shine you. I can make sure you don't look greasy. Like, I was getting everybody. And I'm like, all right, let me look at this camera real quick. Make sure you look good. So it does work that it widens my kit,
Hmm.
but there's still work to be done because they still playing in our face.
I got you. I got you. I understand that because I've seen the struggle. Even though I may not have been in it, but I've seen the struggle.
Hmm.
And listening to other actors and actresses talk about certain things, or like how when they're living single, how they had to do their own hair and makeup. You know what I mean? To make sure everything was right and tight and put together, because they didn't really, well, for one, they didn't have as big of a budget as another television show that we know of,
Right.
that we will not name. But no clap,
But we
no
know what we're
clap.
talking about.
That part, we know what we talk about. But yeah, so they didn't have the budget for one,
Mhm.
and then for two, like you said, it was limited, right?
Right.
So they had to utilize what they knew, which probably ended up being beauty supply store stuff or what have you. But all I'm gonna say is they did look good on camera. So I
They did.
for
They look
for the
fabulous.
90s, yeah, they look fabulous, right?
Hmm.
All right. So now let's talk about you acting. All right. So you said you started at the age of 8, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
You start as Dorothy in The Wiz. That's awesome.
Yes.
So how did that experience ignite your love for acting and performing?
Oh, that was I enjoyed it very, very, very much. I actually just found the playbill for it. I was
Really?
and I saw some names I hadn't even seen in a while.
Uh-huh.
Nova Henry was one of the characters that was in it. I believe she played
Okay.
Mae Jemison. Oh, so that kind of made me a little sad for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was like memory lane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
been in school with y'all for forever and ever. Amen. Um, I ended up auditioning by singing because I can sing.
Yeah.
I'm not a Beyonce singer, but I can sing. Um,
You can hold a note
and
and carry a tune. There you go. That's all that
and I
matters.
sang home because, of course, I was a big Stephanie Mills fan. And I got the part as Dorothy, but my teacher was like, "Yeah, so I want you to sing it like Diana Ross." And I was like, "Okay." So I had to watch The Wiz over and over and over and over
Yeah.
and over again to learn how to sing it like Diana Ross. That was difficult to kind of erase that muscle memory out.
Yeah. Because those are
And
two different
then
styles.
it was two completely different styles. And then we also had to sing A Whole New World. When I tell you, like, this was a different thing because it was Black history, right? So what it was, I was in this classroom and I didn't know anything about my history. No. And I ended up going to sleep in the class. I think that's how it went down.
Hmm.
And this other guy was singing A Whole New World with me. He couldn't sing, but it was okay. It worked out. We was kids.
Did
And
you have to
I
close your
was
ear?
he didn't sing in a lot. He wasn't off key. He
Mhm.
just wasn't a singer. He could hold a note, right?
Gotcha.
Um, and so, but standing next to me, somebody that can sing, it was like I was the person that was the focal point. So that was kind of the direction I got. And I was on this magic carpet and I was going to because that was what it was called, the Wizard of And
Okay.
I was going to learn about all of these people in Black history. So they had Oprah Winfrey up there, Bill
Yeah.
Cosby, like I said, Mae Jemison, um, oh God, Arthur Ashe. There's a lot of athletes. Michael Jordan was up there.
Hmm.
Thurgood Marshall, like people like that, right? And the kids were all playing different people, and they would
Yeah.
step up and they would give their speech about who they were, and I would have to go through and touch them. And I had on this beautiful Ankara outfit situation. So instead of the traditional Dorothy outfit, it was an African print from top to bottom. It was almost kind of like the MC Hammer pants.
Okay.
It was
I got
that.
you.
And it was purple, green, and gold, and I had gold glittery shoes on.
Oh,
And so when it was no place like home, I did have to
yeah.
click my heels and everything, but I'm
That's what's
sticking
up.
these gold glittery shoes. And I remember I had to go, and I had to do a quick change. I had to
Yeah.
run back to this little back room, change real quick, run back. It was a full-on plate in the gym on a high rise, but it was super cute.
Yeah.
And it was really my first experience performing. And I was like, I really want to do this. I love plays. I love acting. And I had so much fun doing it. So I knew by the time I got to high school,
Mhm.
I was going to do theater. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, where is the theater department?
And you did. And you did. Did you also do speech too?
I did. I
I
did 4
thought
years of
so.
speech.
Yeah, I thought so. And
Hmm.
so I forgot the teacher's name because I know I took the speech class, but she was like, "You should be in the speech program," and I was like, "I'm an athlete. I'm good."
That's
I'm
what,
like,
but I was
"I'm
an athlete
straight."
too.
Now, yeah, I was like, "I'm good," because I had student government, peer mediation, cross country, soccer, and then now you want me to do speech too? I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
speech would
doing
have
too much."
interfered with one of those.
That part,
They
and
would,
I
yeah.
wouldn't. I wasn't giving up my sports. I was
I
giving
felt
up my
that.
sports.
I did speech team for 4 years and I did group interpretation. So I did
Okay.
both of those.
Okay.
And we won state our senior year. Well, we
Yeah.
didn't win state. We went to state our senior year. We placed 6th. We
But
did beloved.
y'all were good regardless.
We had
Y'all were,
Diana Colvin. Of course, we was good.
that part. I gotta get her on here too.
Diana Taylor. You know, I'm gonna hit her up because she was
Yeah.
just on Jennifer Hudson's show.
I saw it. I was on her page the other day and I saw when she was on there. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, look at that.
I'm so proud of
Okay.
her. I'm so proud of her. I'm so
I
proud of
know,
my
right?
friend.
I love it. Class of
So
'03,
yeah.
baby.
Listen, class of '03 was nothing to play with, but we had
I
Diana,
know.
we had Carissa, we had Kathy.
Uh
There was
Kristen.
a lot of people in that cast. Her sister Danielle was also in that cast too.
Mhm. Was Kristen with y'all?
Who?
Gates?
Kristen Gates was with us. She didn't act. She did public
Okay.
address.
She's okay, gotcha.
She,
Gotcha.
she brilliantly smart. So she did extemporaneous speaking,
Hmm.
which is you got to compile an 8-minute speech, well, 6-minute speech. It's 8 minutes now. I still judge speech from time to time. You got to
Okay.
compile a 6-minute speech based on domestic or international affairs. So
Hmm.
mostly public, you got to answer a question and you draw. It's very complicated. And then she did impromptu speaking, which is another compiling a speech based off of a prompt in
Yeah.
2 minutes. And you got to deliver a 6-minute speech. It is very difficult,
Yeah, sounds like it.
but
I
she was
was like,
smart and she can
and
handle it.
yeah, so
But Christy can handle it, and
yeah,
she did very well.
yeah, she did.
So yeah, she was definitely with us. She just wasn't acting. That wasn't her ministry.
Okay. So speaking of teaching, how did you get into teaching? When did that start?
So what happened was, I don't know what. No, she taught chemistry. So the one that you're probably thinking about is Darcel Williams because she taught theater.
Okay.
That was one of the head
Yes.
speech coaches.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Cheryl Frazier was the other head speech coach,
Uh,
both black women.
mhm,
She was teaching at a school, Southland College Prep,
mhm,
and her husband passed away.
mhm.
And so they hit me up and it was like, Frazier's husband passed away. I was like, oh no, where's the wake? Because I won't be able to go to the funeral. I got to work the next day, right?
Right.
Mind you, I'm going on the way to the wake. I get a phone call. They firing me. Say less. Because it was a marketing company. I didn't want to work for
Okay.
them. I didn't really care.
She was like,
I was
"Thank
like,
you."
thank you for letting me go. I don't want to do this
Right.
anyway. So I pull up to go, be there for Frage because that was one of my speech problems.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm here paying my respects. She's like, thank you so much. She's like, listen, we're short some speech coaches. Would you like to coach for us?
Like in that moment.
In that moment, husband laid out, and she
Right.
talking to me about coaching. Said, well, I did just get fired, and I could use the money. So
That was
okay.
perfect timing.
It was perfect timing. So, like, the very next day, I went up there, filled out a bunch of paperwork, and that's how I started coaching for the school. And then eventually, I got hired on in special education to be a para and a substitute. So that's how I ended up working in the school system. But it
That's
was
what's up.
fresh. to get me up in there. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Shout out praise. Okay. Shout out. That's what's up. All right, so you've successfully combined comedy, beauty, and education into a unique platform on TikTok. It's been amazing. Can you share how you blend these elements and what impact you hope to achieve?
So part of my degree is in business. So just looking at it from a business standpoint and how you want to run the business and what your model is supposed to be. So once I put all the things in perspective, I'm like, all right, so I got to structure it this way, structure it this way, structure it this way. How do I want it to look?
Mhm.
And now the production part comes into play. And that's where my directorial and speech skills came into play. So
Gotcha.
a lot of the things that I'm doing is speech or play related, with a little bit of course production, lighting, and all the other things, right?
Okay.
And I learned that by trial and error. So a lot of the times when I'm doing, because I coached impromptu, um crazy because I couldn't do impromptu, but I coached it. So a lot of the times when I'm doing the off the cuff things, that's impromptu. It's
Yeah.
just me just sitting there doing that. The comedic part, I've always been naturally sarcastic. I've always been funny without trying to be funny. And y'all be
Hey,
laughing at me, and I'm like, "What is so funny? I'm serious." But
I
like,
think the whole class of '03, with the exception of a few people, we were all unserious.
all
But we
unserious,
had a
regular,
lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in high school.
a ton of fun. Oh my goodness! Like I often reminisce about certain things that happened, about how we had to tell Miss Garja that Alex was awake when he was sleeping. He fine. He hear you. He awake.
Lord
And
have
stuff
mercy.
like that. And we were very unserious. But like I combined a lot of those elements of
Mhm.
how I coached the kids and how I directed and things like that, and just, placement and angles, especially the skits where I'm talking off camera.
Yeah.
That's HI. That's humorous interpretation right there, or original comedy, because you can do it with both.
Mhm.
So the focal points that I use is all group interp. Like I literally utilize the skills that I learned in high school from Miss Williams and Miss Frazier to really produce a lot of my work and my content.
That's what's up. And I definitely remember Miss Williams because she was the one that had approached me about trying to be on speech. But in her class, she was something else. That lady, she was. That's all I'm gonna say. She was something else.
She still is something else.
She wasn't nothing
She
to play
still
with. I know
is.
that either. But she was something else. She
She
would have me
still is
laughing. Would
something
have me
else.
laugh at one moment, have me scared at another moment. Have me.
Listen, because let me tell you how she left me and
Mhm.
two of us in her house by herself. We worked her and her husband's anniversary party. They
Uh-huh.
did an anniversary party at a country club over in Linwood, and they did a pre-party at their house.
Yeah.
So my friend Shayla, she was she has a catering business, so she was
Okay.
doing the food, and then me and my other friend Kara, we were helping her. So we all did speech, so we all helping her. And we like, okay, so we're gonna clean this up because it's Mama Darcel house. We gonna make sure
Yeah.
we don't break nothing. And she's like, all right, so we'll see y'all over there. Because of course we were also invited too. We'll see y'all over there. What you mean you'll see us over there? What you leaving us here? Yes, we have to finish cleaning. Just make sure you lock up.
Ah.
Ma'am,
Oh well. All right.
ma'am, you leaving us in your house by yourself. I'm scared. Like we were so scared. Like, let's make sure everything is back where it's supposed to
Right.
be. Because we don't want her calling us later and yelling like, why you ain't put that back over there? We were so scared. But she's like, y'all got it, y'all.
She trusted you. That's so sweet.
It was precious, but it's like a testament to how close we are with them,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we literally treat them like they are parents, and they
Yeah.
treat us like we their kids.
That's
And
facts.
I
That's
love that
facts.
relationship. So she still is a firecracker, and I love that.
Oh man, she was something else. I'm telling you, that speech class was a beautiful thing and a
Mhm.
terrifying thing all at the same time for me because that's when I was first initially introduced to public speaking.
Okay.
And boy, I'll be up there, my knees will be shaking, and how did I do? She was like, "You did very well. You did very well." And then the fact that she came to me asking me to be on the speech team, I'm like, I'm not getting ready to have my knees shake every day.
Listen, and them
Besides,
competitions
I
were
got some
no joke. They were
man,
intense.
cause y'all will,
Every Saturday
yeah, y'all will own it. Y'all
in
will like
somebody else's school.
debate boot camp. Like
Uh-huh.
seriously.
It was very intense. And it was, but I mean, it had to be.
Yeah.
It had to be. Like we were competing against the likes of Dandrell Scott. He went to Thornton. Leroyce Hawkins was also on speech team and Thornton as well too. We was competing against people like that. Like that's what we was going up
Yeah.
against. Thornton was our biggest competitor. I will say that. Thornton and Thornridge were our sister schools, biggest competitor.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is
So
so funny because we used to talk about them all the time because they would say Thornwood was where all the smart kids were.
mhm.
It was like, yeah, Thornwood got the smartest kids, but I understand. Yeah, they was some tough competitors. It's always the sister schools, always.
It's always
Everybody got something to prove, right?
exactly. I mean, and it wasn't wrong. Our class was very competitive academically. Very.
Very much so.
But between the valedictorian and salutatorian, I wasn't playing with neither one of them. I ain't had time. No, I just want to graduate.
You got it.
Exactly. Y'all got it.
You got it. I'm gonna
I
go
just want to
ahead.
walk across stage at this point.
That part. Can I have my diploma, please? That's all.
Hey,
Thank you
because
very much.
4.9 repeated and then 4.98, baby. Bye.
Mama, I made it.
Too much for me.
Man, that's yeah, that was rough. That was tough back then.
It was. We was
They got
fighting for
just
our
to walk
life.
across that stage was a blessing. Yeah, thank you, Lord. I'm finished.
Listen,
Hallelujah.
I remember distinctly one of our classmates made the suggestion to Mr. Lester, rest his soul, made the suggestion to Mr. Lester,
Uh,
don't you want to just put our names on the overhead and just scroll up? Because it's a lot of us.
it was. We had a big class.
It was like 600, 700 of us deep.
Our graduation was long, long as hell.
Oh my God.
And then after graduation, we had to go to the other gym to pick up our diploma.
Listen,
What kind
listen,
of mess?
listen. You
I
just
opened
gonna give
that
me a
thing up.
little
I was
book?
like, wait a minute. I know I graduated. Hold on.
Like, this empty. This
Right.
is empty. That's why it's empty. It was that day. It was hot too
It
and
was.
muggy outside.
It was. It
I
was
just wanted to
bad.
be free. I wanted to be free from Thornwood. I was done. I was like, all right, that's enough of this. Let's move on to the next
Next
thing.
chapter. Turn the
Right.
page.
And then, of course, with both of us being at the beginning of the alphabet, we had to sit through all them people.
Forever, bro.
Oh my God. I'm like, I was ninth walking across the stage. Can we be done?
I was like, so can I walk off the stage and into the car and leave? Like, do
Nope.
I
They
have
held us
do I
hostage with them
do I
diplomas.
have to wait for everybody else's name to be spoken?
Exactly.
I mean, they here, they made it, right?
Exactly. And they made us wait.
Of course
Boo.
they did. Of course they did. All right. So you're aiming to create a space for freelance makeup artists to thrive outside of TV and film.
Correct.
What challenges do these artists face and how do you plan to address them?
So they don't have access to private insurance outside of them doing it themselves. They do not have access to other benefits like life insurance, 401k, things of that nature.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's no union for pro freelance makeup artists. That's just event, right? Unless you're getting into TV and film,
Mhm.
that's when you get access to that. So it's adjacent to SAG-AFTRA
Yeah.
um, when you're in TV and film, and you'll have to work so many films in so many days in order to get it, right? But what if you don't want to do that? What if you just
Right.
want to do faces? What if you just want to do glam? There's no access for that. So I want to curate a space that they can do that. They can also get education. They can get their tools at discount. They can hold space, so they can like rent space out in these facilities where people could come and get their makeup done. Because right now, what a lot of people are doing is they're going to a lot of the businesses, like the office buildings or like strip malls, and renting out those spaces. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't I just get a building and y'all could all be in here? Like, it just makes sense, you know? And they have their own space, and then doing education as well too, because it's only so many spaces
Yeah.
that offer education. So Tricosi is one of the places here in Illinois. Excuse me. But after that, not really a whole lot you're going to do. And we're not really required to have like licensure in most states. Um, the only license we would be able to get is cosmetology, which is mostly hair.
Right.
They don't really
See,
teach
I
that
didn't
much
know
about
that.
makeup.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
So, or if they're trying to do like lashes, like those individual lashes, they would have to go get a certification through the board. But if you're not doing a permanent makeup situation like tattoo makeup, you don't have to get a license for that. But you still need education because a lot of these people are putting milk and magnesia on people's faces.
I was getting ready to say, if we had the education in place and the certification, wouldn't you think that that will weed out a lot of people as well?
It would. It would. And
Yeah.
they wouldn't be doing half the things that they're doing, which is also why I do a lot of those tips. So one of the tips I just gave on the platform is doing well on YouTube. It's not blowing on your lashes to glue down to dry down your lash glue. There's
You said
bacteria in your mouth.
don't. Mm.
Do not. So there's bacteria in your mouth. And you can get an eye infection from your own mouth,
Ain't
putting
that
it on
something?
your eye. I know, right? So a lot of people are doing that to clients. No, 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 don't do that. That's not
Your
wise.
bacteria on their ass.
Uh-huh. If it
Ooh,
don't work on your own ass, what makes you think it's gonna work on theirs?
hit
You
the
can give
pause
your
button.
own self pink eye.
Ugh.
Why you go- No,
Ew.
no, babes. So I want to be able to create that environment, and I know it would be something that'll happen over time. It's not something that's going to be happening overnight.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I definitely want that facility, and I kind of want it to be nationwide.
Definitely. It would. It should be.
It
It
should
should.
be.
That's what's up.
Um, so yeah.
So what small steps right now are you taking towards that?
So one of them now is I have my own business. The business called Spotlight Artistry.
Okay.
So that is my personal makeup artist business.
Yeah.
And you can book me to do your makeup or learn how to do makeup. And you can either learn how to do it on yourself or you can learn how to do it on other people. Once I start building a bigger clientele, I'll start doing apprenticeships. Once I get my own space, because I really do want that, and I will go the office route space. I will get my own space and start building my business from there. And eventually, hopefully, because my man is also trying to participate in this. Bless that man. Oh my God.
Hallelujah.
Oh my God. He's so amazing.
That's what's up.
Um, he also wants to help invest into that. So once we get the capital to get an actual building, that's when we'll start to do that. And eventually I want to book other artists to teach. Because it's just needed. And a lot
Yeah.
of people are not properly educated. They go on a YouTube University, but they're not getting all the tools. Because ain't nothing wrong with YouTube University if you use it right. A lot
Right.
of people are just like, oh, that's all I need to do. Okay, I don't need to know nothing else. No, but you do.
It's a
You
lot. It's a
do.
lot to it, and
It
that's why
is.
I'm surprised that there isn't a certification for it because, like you said, cosmetology school, you go in there, they learning about bacteria, they learning about the scalp, they learning about the science part of it, and there
Hmm.
is also a science part to makeup as well.
Right.
Like you said,
Right.
you're dealing with your face. Not just your hair, but your face. Like one of the most
Yes.
important things on your body. You know
This
what I mean?
right here. That's what
Right.
everybody see first and foremost.
That part. So you wouldn't want to mess this up. So you would
Correct.
think that they will have something set up to where people can learn and educate themselves. So we won't have all these, you know, makeup artists,
Well, they
around.
do. The problem is it's not accessible to everybody because it's not
Uh-huh.
everywhere,
Uh-huh.
as well as it's very expensive. Tricosi is not cheap.
Yeah. It
Um,
don't sound like
and Nah, one of our former classmates, my god sister, Dominique Dumas,
hmm.
she went to Tricosi.
Okay.
She did my niece's makeup for prom because I couldn't do it. I had to work. I had to direct a show for the seniors that were graduating from Southland the same day my niece went to prom. So it was like, Dominique,
Okay.
come do our makeup. She's like, I got you. So she did her makeup for prom, but she went to Tricosi.
Okay.
So she's very well versed in it too. And one of the things that they teach is color theory,
Mhm.
matching. You
Yeah.
know, you get the big old color wheel, you got to see what matches, what go together, what don't go together.
Right.
The whole mixing pigment thing, how to do this. Face shapes, eye shapes, all of this matters. And what we are seeing now is people have one type of face that they put on people, and that's what they stamp it on. And it's like the face is wearing them and not them wearing the makeup. And that's what I want people to teach. Because you could be glam and bold and be, as somebody else just tried to come for our whole neck, be drag queen down. Ain't nothing wrong with looking like a drag queen. We're doing it on purpose.
That part.
But we can still see your face while
Right.
also having drag queen makeup.
Got you. That's understood. Yeah, that because like you said, everybody's different. Everybody has different face shapes and how some people's eyes might slant, or like I sometimes I make fun of my wife sometimes because she's got like Asian eyes on, you know, and then mine are more round. So you do have to pay attention to all of that when you're applying
Correct.
makeup, and of course the eyebrows, right?
Correct.
So it's a lot that you got to pay attention to when you're
So
doing
those are called almond eyes.
almond eyes. Okay. Thank
Yes,
you.
they're called almond eyes.
Okay.
And almond eyes are mostly seen on either Asian or people of African descent. So we see that a lot. I have almond eyes.
Yeah.
And the best thing to accentuate almond eyes is going in an angle like this. Who else has almond eyes? Megan Thee Stallion. That's why you always see her makeup go back like that.
Yeah, look like that. Okay.
Because it's going to accentuate that. So, but for like someone like you, I would accentuate the roundness of your eyes, maybe minimize it to kind of bring it in. So I would do a halo look on you, because that would,
Okay.
you have a lot of lid space. I'm looking at
Yeah.
it. You got a lot of
Yeah.
lid space.
She said, I'm checking you out right now. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of that lid
All
space.
this right here. Yeah.
And that's something with Black people too. Black people typically have a lot of lid space, so you get to do a lot more artwork up here. So I'm like,
I
my
have
niece
noticed
has
that.
eyes like that. Yep.
I
She
have
has
noticed.
eyes like yours. So then
Okay.
I'll just take it. I'm like, I did her makeup for her graduation because she just graduated from college back in June.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's lift this brow up. Baby having a ball.
That is what's up. All right. So I'm gonna have to remember that. Almond eyes. Okay.
Almond
That's what
eyes.
she got. Now let's talk about being a mother for a second.
Okay.
So how do you balance being a mother to a wonderful 15-year-old and pursuing a demanding career in the entertainment industry or makeup industry?
Oh, I have such a great support system in my parents. So when I was doing the film in January, she was a freshman. So when I was doing the film in January, my mom was the breath of fresh air. So she was taking her to school, picking her up, all the things. And then of course I was checking in via FaceTime. You good? All
Yeah.
right, I'll see you later. It's that. It's a lot of communication. I work from home mostly. So
Okay.
she gets to see me when I'm at home. So when I'm not traveling and doing work outside the house, I'm always here. Excuse me. So I'm drop off because I can't pick up. My ADHD makes me anxious with all these kids running around, because she also goes to a big high school.
Okay.
Similar population that we had. It's a lot of them. It's a
Guys.
whole bunch of them kids be everywhere. Y'all are making me anxious just walking in the street, la 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 la. Like
Right.
little Smurfs just not paying attention. So I'm drop off. So I drop her off every morning for school.
Okay.
Me and her are pretty much the same, whereas we don't need a lot of attention. It's pay attention to me, but leave me alone at the same time. So she could cross the hall. I hear her. She hear me. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
And when we
Good.
come together and hang out, we hang out. We just went to a fall festival.
Okay.
They put a little fall pumpkin patch in the middle of the Chicago River. It was right off the Chicago River. And they had a little hayride on the Chicago River. Yeah, it was very interesting. We went, it was fun. And I was like, come on, dude. We going, we finna go kick it. And she was like, okay, we going to kick it. So we took the train up there.
Yeah.
My friend Lauren picked us up from the train, and then we rode and we had a ball. You know, me and her enjoyed it. And so yeah, that's how I balance it. It's making sure that I'm at home just to be able to show up for her things, volunteer at her school, go to her choir concert. She's playing badminton, so I go to her badminton games. So that's usually what I do. And when I can't, she knows why I can't. But she my Velcro baby too. She's already made it clear that she's not going away to college. She's gonna stay here and just commute.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, you sure you don't want to stay on campus? I'm staying with you. All right.
You thought you was gonna have a nesting phase. You thought.
I thought I was, but no, I'm not. I don't think so. I'm
Thought.
like, I'm gonna have to get a mother-in-law suite attached to my house just so you can be
Right.
out for real, because she has zero intention. Zero
Well,
intention.
she already know what she wants. She already told you what it is.
Yeah, that Taurus energy. She's stubborn. I was like,
Hey now.
she
Hey
ain't
now.
changing her mind. Uh-huh. She ain't changing her mind. And I know
That
she
part.
not.
It's gonna have to be something to happen in order for her to change her mind. But as of right now,
Exactly.
she's staying put.
She is staying put. She wants to teach. So I'm guiding her with that. She wants to be a
That's what's
teacher.
up. Okay. What grade does she want to teach, or what
High
does she
school.
know? Okay. All right. She gonna be with the grown kids.
Yes, it's much more fun. I ain't gonna when I was at school, I preferred the teenagers. The little kids would have drove me crazy. I don't have the patience for the kids.
I
Give me
believe
the
it.
teenagers
I
because
believe
they
it.
understand sarcasm. So I could talk crazy to them and they gonna talk back, and it was always fun.
Get that little banter going.
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It was always fun with them.
That's what's up. So still talking about that. So you describe yourself as a typical millennial mom, right?
Mhm.
Who doesn't take anything too seriously. So how does this approach affect your parenting style and your relationship with your daughter?
It's so when it's time for me to have a conversation with her, my parents are boomers. So when we got in trouble, we got fussed at. We
That part.
got lectured.
That part.
I hated those lectures so much.
Me
I was like,
too.
no, I don't want to do that. So this is again where my sarcasm comes into play. Bro, what we doing? What's happening, G? Like, why we doing it? Why did this come into play? Like, that's how I talk to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, so this is what happened. I said, oh, so we got to see what happened story. All right, let me get comfortable. And it's a lighthearted approach to me knowing that she's going to have some discipline at the end,
Mhm.
but she's still able to communicate what's going on. I am very much with gentle parenting. So we don't do corporal punishment, but we have boundaries. And the boundaries that we have are reciprocal. So one of the things that we don't do is we don't yell at each other. So one time she did actually raise her voice at me because we're not perfect. I said, "Oh, we yelling today? Is that what we're doing?" And she's like, "Huh?" I said, "You raised your voice to me. You want to bring that down a notch before we start
That
yelling
part.
back and forth? Because we could do that." And she's like, "No, I don't want you to yell at me." I said, "Oh, okay, so stop yelling at me. Thank you."
That's what's
And she
up.
brought
Just
it down.
yeah.
And it was that, I knock on her door before I enter her room because I didn't get that. My mama just
Of course.
barged in.
Of course not. I don't think any of us got it. That's why we act the way we act.
Right. I'm like, oh, where's the boundaries? I'm setting boundaries and I'm almost 40. This is ridiculous. But no, I knock on her door. I ask her, does she want to do things? Then sometimes I will go ahead and tell her because a lot of times she's gonna say no
Mm,
because she's an introvert and she want to be in her room minding her business. But I'm like, no, you gotta go touch grass. Come on. We
yeah,
go ahead real quick.
yeah.
So then she go, okay. But that's very far few in between. And I make sure that it's something that she would be interested in too. So I always keep that in mind. Um, Traveling with her is entertaining. We went on a cruise back in August,
Okay.
and she was my Velcro,
Oh,
and we was all over Nassau because we was in the Bahamas. We was
yeah,
all over
yeah.
Nassau. We was getting jerk chicken. We was in the museum. We was cutting up. So that was the other thing too. I said, listen, I know I'm your mama. We gonna do hood rat things on these cruise, okay? She's like, okay.
She was down for it.
She was down for it. She was
That's
with
dope.
it all, and I love that. And I have that dynamic, a similar dynamic with my niece, because me and my niece are 16 years apart. So she
Okay.
saw me do it with her, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it with you too. You a teenager now. Let's go. We finna go frolic. We finna go have fun in these different countries.
Yeah.
So that's the different environment that I'm bringing her. She still
Love
has
that.
boundaries.
Yeah.
She still can't talk spicy. She can say what she gotta say. Don't talk spicy to me
That
because
part.
I'm not gonna talk spicy to you.
That part.
But I make sure everything is reciprocal. Everything is I'm doing it to you, you do it to me. So that she knows that there's a give and take. And that helps her balance out her other relationships. So if you treat others the way you want to be treated, and that's how we move.
There you go. So how do your parents feel about it?
They don't like it. They think I'm too nice, and I'm like, no, I'm not being nice.
I'm like, it's working.
Right. I just don't have to yell to get my point across. Like, I'm
True,
not gonna raise
true.
my blood pressure. I'm already going through perimenopause. These hot flashes be hot flashing. No, I'm not gonna get. That's good. I'm good on that. But she don't like it. You just let her get away with everything. No, I don't. No, I don't. But
Right.
she's also not a bad kid either. She's got A's and B's.
Yeah.
She's in honors and AP classes. I ain't gonna do a whole lot for her.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I don't
that's
have to
good.
monitor her. I put her in Montessori school
Mhm.
from 3 to kindergarten, so she's very independent. She monitors herself. She wakes herself up. She gets herself ready for school, and she'll just because we have a Jack and Jill bathroom. She go, "Doo doo, you ready? Yeah, I." And that's how we go to school.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So she's gonna end up being when I end up, she's very well on her way, but being very independent.
She's extremely independent to
That's
the point where I have to remind her sometimes you don't have to be independent in this regard, like with money, baby. You
yeah,
don't have to be independent with that. I'm your mama. I'm
right.
supposed to provide for you. You don't have to pay your own way. I
Mm,
know you got money. Keep your little money for when you want to buy gifts because she has a sister with her dad. When you want to buy gifts for your sister, or when you want to just go shopping in general, keep that for that. But
right.
I got you. Don't worry. You ain't got to pay for your field trips, your lunches, none of that. That's my job. Let me be a parent. So we have those conversations.
That's what's up. That's that Taurus energy too.
It is. It is. I peep game. She reminds me so like, and this is also really funny too, because my grandma was also a Taurus. Her birthday was May 1st.
Okay.
And listening my mama and my child go back and forth is like listening to my mama and my grandma go back and forth because
Mhm.
they sound just alike. And I was like, you know what? If she passed away before you were born, I would have thought she was her reincarnated. Because baby, y'all acted just alike. Oh my God. I was like, can
Getting
y'all
back
stop
at her.
tussling? Yes, because my grandma's name was 90.
Okay.
So I call her Lil 90 a lot of times. So as soon as they start tussling, Deborah and Lil 90, cut it out.
Oh man. So now let's talk about you being the next Beyonce, right? So you said life didn't necessarily pan out as you initially thought, right? You thought you was gonna be the next Beyonce. So how have you navigated adjusting your dreams and finding fulfillment in your current path?
So once I realized what it took to be Beyonce, I was like, I'm good. I'm straight on that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of moving, jumping, shaking. I got asthma. And I got chronic vertigo. I can't be doing all them spins that she be doing and coming down from rafters. I'm afraid of heights. I'm 5'3". I no, that's a no for me. I think I want to do something that requires me to be on the ground.
Right.
Um, so that was an easy adjustment. Once I realized what it took, I said, no, we gonna leave that to be. We gonna leave that to her because she puts on the show. A
Definitely.
good oh my God, that Renaissance. I still dream about Renaissance 'cause I went to
I
that
do
show.
too. That was my first Beyonce concert.
Really?
Yes.
You got treated.
And I get it. I get it. I
It
may
was
not be a beehiver, but I get it.
it was phenomenal.
Bro, I was
I
like,
didn't realize I was a beehiver until like after that though.
really?
Yeah, because you know what? For me, outside of like, now see, not even with him. For me, I'm very much, I like your music. I love your talent. It's very entertaining. It's captivating, but I don't idolize you.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, when I would see beehivers like interact with people online, they were so aggressive. And I'm like,
Very.
she not paying y'all, bro. Calm down. It's okay.
That part.
And because I'm not the
She
person,
don't even know you.
she don't even know you, right? Like, and I'm like, I don't care if other people don't like B. I like B. So that doesn't mean anything to me, you know? And a lot of them did. So I didn't consider myself a beehive. They know a lot of stuff about her.
Yeah.
I know her birthday because she say it all the time. That's the reason. It's in music. After that, I don't really know a whole lot. I be trying to figure out how Blue is a little bit. I'm like, Blue is 12. Oh, yeah, she's 12 now. She's 12. Like, I be
That
trying to
girl
figure that out.
grown.
Grown and bigger than me. I'm like, listen, but she did her thing on that stage. I was so
She
proud of
did.
her.
I love it. I love it.
And
And
then
I
also
was
too, go
no, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
Also too, somebody like Beyonce, she only 4 years older than us. I look at her as a peer.
Yeah. We
So
grew
I
up with them.
literally grew up with her. So
Yeah.
it's like, to me, I'm looking at somebody that I'm like, you are just like maybe a little bit of an older sister to me, but you have an immense talent that is world renowned, that is extremely powerful. And I
Yeah.
love that as an image of Black women. I love that. That is, you are the most talented person in the world right now.
Yeah.
And there are people trying to compete with you for that spot, and they are very unsuccessful. So that is what I renown her for. But after that, I would probably, of course, if I beat her, I'm like, oh my God, it's Beyonce. Okay, hold up. Let me get myself together. I'm gonna make sure that my hair look good.
That
But
part.
after that, I'm gonna treat you like a human being because
Yeah.
you are a person, right?
That part. At the end of the day.
So, but then I realized, as much as I loved Renaissance, I was like, no, I'm a beehiver. No, I am. That I am. It makes sense.
So what actually makes somebody a beehiver? Or for you, for example?
Um, for me specifically,
Mhm.
it's how many times did I watch that concert and I actually went to it? I watched,
Gotcha.
I went to the one here in Chicago, Soldier Field. We almost didn't get in. That was, oh child, that was a rough situation. We went for my friend's birthday,
Mhm.
and the tickets was on her phone, but she left her phone at our other friend's house in South Holland.
Oh
And
my
all
God.
it was all the way downtown. So we had to go to will call and pray
Right.
that they would send, and they did. They ended up sending us the tickets.
Okay.
So we
Good.
ended up getting in, and we didn't miss anything because Miss Mamas didn't come out till like 9 something. So
Yeah.
we was okay. She came out pretty late.
Mhm.
Um, but we saw it in person because I didn't watch any of the clips before that. I wanted to be surprised. But
Mhm.
once I saw it, I was like, "Oh God, I gotta watch this again. This is happening." So I watched her birthday show in Los Angeles. That was beautiful. I watched the one in Houston because, of course, I needed to see Megan because that's somebody else I need to go see in concert. And she was so excited and cute on stage,
She was. She was. They had a
and like
beautiful exchange.
a beautiful exchange. And it's like I constantly will see the Renaissance concert again. I get those feelings all over again. I said, take me back to Renaissance, please. That was such a great concert. And I've gone, this was my second Beyonce concert. I went to
Okay.
I Am Sasha Fierce. That
Mm.
was the first one.
Okay.
Me, Joyce,
Okay.
and my sister went.
Okay. That's what's up.
So that
So
was
which
my
one?
first one. Renaissance.
Okay.
I liked
That's
Sasha Fierce,
yeah.
but Renaissance is like,
It was a different level.
it was a different level. A much different level. Like you can tell Sasha Fierce, she was polished,
Mhm.
very polished. She's a Virgo, she's a perfectionist, like,
Yeah.
you know. But this was also right after Michael Jackson passed away.
Mhm.
So she had a Michael Jackson tribute at the end. She sang Halo. That I was a wreck.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Like,
I could imagine.
I was literally sobbing. Me, Joyce, and my sister was sobbing. And
Could imagine.
but she was also swinging from the rafters at the United Center too there. But Renaissance,
Yeah.
how she just formulated all of that together and the visuals, because there wasn't a whole lot of visuals as I Am Sasha Fierce.
Mm.
Technology wasn't technology in the way it is now.
Gotcha.
The visuals were beautiful. The stage was
I
huge,
loved it. Yeah. I loved it. I
like
absolutely loved it from start to finish.
start to finish.
Mm.
I was like, oh my God, you really did that.
And
You
then
put a vision.
another thing I could say too is that this tour, even though it was a lot going on, it seemed like she was more herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, honestly, I'm having a good time up here.
Exactly.
So if I mess up, I mess up. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, because normally everybody be like, "Ooh, somebody getting fired!" Like,
That somebody getting fired sends me to the moon every time. Oh, it sends me to the moon 'cause I'm like, baby, I understand. Fire them. Get them, B.
man, I'm telling you. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm thankful that she's giving us a break.
Yeah,
Um, so
because
I
we
don't have
told
to
her,
take
chill
out a
out,
second mortgage. Yeah, that part. Um,
sit down somewhere. we not ready for Cowboy Carter yet. We not ready. I need to recoup.
I'm still playing the Renaissance album. I do, and I did enjoy Cowboy Carter. I do enjoy it, but as far as my mood, I'm still on Renaissance.
Oh yeah. I
Definitely.
have a whole playlist because if you put it together,
Uh-huh.
it's beautiful. Like how she curated it, it transitions so smoothly into
Yeah.
Cowboy Carter. So Summer Renaissance and the American Requiem
Mm-hmm.
blends in like it's one album.
Mm.
And then you get all the way to the end of Cowboy Carter. If you got it on repeat,
Yeah.
goes right back into the beginning of some Renaissance. It's beautiful. I anticipate this third album to do the exact same thing because it's 3 parts.
Yeah.
So it's how she did it. I was like, oh, you thought all of this through.
Very much so. That's why I took her.
All of it
That's why
through.
I took her a minute.
It did.
She was busy because she got
She was
everything
very
going
busy.
on. Sir Davis,
Hmm.
all this other stuff at Sacred, everything. So she was like, okay,
Yes.
so this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna put my commercial out on Super Bowl. Usher, do you mind? It doesn't matter. Um, okay. I'm gonna be honest, because the way that thing dropped, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, dang, Usher couldn't even get his hits on Spotify before.
Couldn't do nothing. We poor Usher. Yeah, I
Man,
heard
hey.
his shows are really good too.
Yeah, I want to I didn't actually see his show, but I saw the movie they just did when he was in Paris. I went
Hmm.
and saw that. That was good.
Oh,
It was good.
okay. I'm
So
about to
he
check
back.
that out.
I think yeah, he's on tour right now. I don't know where
Yes, he
he at,
is.
but I know he's on tour right now. But
Oh no, that was somebody else that was in Canada. Never mind.
mhm,
Um, I don't know exactly where he is, but I heard his show is really good. I heard he doing this. I know he doing his thug thistle. The
yeah,
Super Bowl performance he did was really good.
it-
He did a great job with that.
I
I was
love.
like, thank you for bringing the Vegas experience to the Super Bowl because I couldn't afford the Vegas experience tickets. Not with Renaissance
I
going on.
I looked at them tickets. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, because he was going on at the same time Renaissance. I said it was Renaissance or Usher.
Sorry, Usher.
Right. Sorry, Usher. They gonna put you on TikTok. It's okay. Renaissance.
Man, and that's why I'm glad they came out with that movie because that helped a
Exactly.
lot too. Yeah. Um,
Exactly.
and let's just be real, she started that trend
She did.
because now
She absolutely did.
everybody doing it. Everybody doing it. But that's
Yeah,
just
because
that's
Megan Thee Stallion got one coming out.
really
Yes, I just saw the trailer for that yesterday.
okay.
She's got a documentary coming out from her tour that she just did.
See, there you go. There you go.
You know, she's
Um,
gonna follow that Beyonce model. Beyonce is her
yeah.
mentor.
I'm actually glad that she signed on with them and got rid of the other people she was with. Her
Yeah.
ever since she has her career has been flourishing.
Oh my God. She's been
Um,
doing such a great job.
and
I'm so proud of her.
I see a light coming from her as well. You could tell she's extremely happy where she's at
Very.
and with what she's
Her
doing.
and that doggone Glorilla, both of them. Both of them.
Okay, hold on. We gotta get back on subject because I was getting ready to go into Glorious because I saw your video that you posted talking about it. And you was like, the 40s, 50s, and 60s, we in it too, baby.
We there. Your aunties and your big cousins, we is there.
Y'all gotta check out her TikTok, man. We're gonna get all the socials in a minute. It hilarious. I saw that literally today. I was
That's
like, yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, that go. And I played it for my wife. Was it last week? Because I listened to it last week, and then when I got home from work, I was like, oh, listen to this. It's a
Cause
real good
baby,
album. It's a good album.
That Write Me Down remake. I need some Bengay on my knees, because that's what's gonna happen. These
And
Megan
what's
knees
the
gonna have to be activated.
procedure?
Listen, what is the procedure? Don't play with
Look,
me.
man, look. Yeah, all right, okay. I go on and on. All right. Okay, so getting back to your career,
Mhm.
um, can you share with us a significant challenge that you faced in your career and how you overcame it?
Oh, um, I would have to say dealing with clients specifically. Um, I Shocker, I have social anxiety. Not too many
Okay.
people would know that because my bubbly personality makes it look like I don't, but I'm also an actress. Yeah.
She's acting everybody.
And then of course speech prepares you for customer service. So I'm good at customer service, right? But it is a lot for me sometimes. So if I'm in that space where I'm like, I don't want nobody around me, I don't want to touch nobody, I don't want nobody touching me, it's hard. Because how am I gonna tell this client I don't want to come to your face?
Right.
So it's it's a lot of meditation. It's a lot of mentally preparing myself. Um, that has been my, and, like, I even took a break from it. It was becoming so much. It was becoming so overwhelming. And then I just
Yeah.
started sticking to beauty content and comedic content for a good little minute. But then I'm like, no, my bread and butter has to be there. It has to be right there because anything could happen. The social media space could collapse at any second. TikTok might be gone in January. We don't know.
That
So
part.
because of that, I gotta have something else to do, which is why I also went back to YouTube. I
Okay.
have to have something else to do. You know, I have to have something else going on. So I was like, I'm gonna have to suck it up, buttercup, and get myself back out there. So that has definitely been a big challenge for me, dealing with people.
Yeah, people can be horrible to deal with.
Mhm.
It's
And
like
draining.
very much so. And I don't think people understand how draining that they can actually be.
Yeah.
I don't think sometimes they even know when they are being draining or when they're being taxing on somebody. Because people are so focused on their own selfish needs. It's like, okay, cater to me. Come do my makeup now.
Right.
Like,
You're right, right.
and I gotta be somewhere in an hour, so let's go. It's like,
Right, right. And then I
okay,
also have, but also came up with boundaries and rules,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So one of my biggest boundaries, somebody actually just talked about this on TikTok. One
mm,
of my biggest boundaries is you cannot micromanage me. This is why I work for myself because I do not like to be micromanaged. And most jobs is going to micromanage you in some way, shape, form of
yeah.
fashion.
You
So
your own
because
boss,
I'm my own boss, I got me, I monitor me. I know what I'm doing. I am a trained professional. I got this.
right?
You cannot hover over me and check everything that I do. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care if you're another makeup artist. You're not the hired makeup artist right now. I am. Back up. So that's in my contract when I'm doing big parties.
Awesome.
You can't hover over me. And I have explicit rules. Y'all need to be ready because I need to, especially if I'm doing multiple faces, I need to turn y'all out. You need to be ready. I should
Right.
not have to figure out where you are. I should not have to hunt for you. I'm not going to call you. You need to be ready right here so you can switch in and out of this chair. Next, let's go. So I'm very strict about those things. And I say it,
That's
of course,
awesome.
nicely,
Yeah.
because I communicate it, of course, in a professional and nice way because I don't want it to make it seem like I'm mean or anything. But I'm
Yeah.
like, my time is money. Your time is precious. So because your time is precious and my time is money, let's be on the same page.
Okay.
Um, I have a late policy. You later than 15 minutes. And especially if I got other clients, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to service you. You got to be on time.
Mhm.
And if I'm late, then I actually give you some of your money back. Because sometimes
Mhm.
things happen.
Right.
Things
Right.
happen. So I also make that balance. Because, like, my car could break down, or if I'm on public trans, which I've done that several times, the train could be running late. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm taking 15% off of your price because I'm late.
Right.
And
And
they're like, oh, okay.
people will respect that. People will
Hmm.
respect that very much so. I like that.
Right.
That's so and having those boundaries are very important. So
Oh, God.
people won't overstep them and take advantage of you,
Hmm.
in the long run. And where you end up being stressed out and all of this and
Right.
this is what we gotta do. I'm doing 10 faces. I need all y'all in the same room.
Yep.
When I get there, be ready. Okay, 1, 2, you done, you done, next, you done. Okay, and keep
Exactly.
it moving. You in and you out, and you get your money
Exactly.
and you go.
Exactly. And then I'm looking at them like, all right, so you could pay this balance now. You could pay it in advance. There is a deposit. The deposit is non-refundable. But what I do specifically with my non-refundable deposits, because I actually just did this with a long-time client of mine. If you have to cancel for whatever reason and you are going to rebook with me, you know you're going to rebook with me in the future, you can use that deposit that you've already sent me for your next booking. Now it's only a one-time thing.
Right.
The next one you're gonna have to do a new deposit,
Yeah.
right? But you could transfer it to something else if you can't use it right now,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
The deposit is off the price of what I'm charging you, so you would only have to pay a balance, and it's only 25%. So I'm not you legally I can't ask for more than 50 for services not rendered. So because legally I can't ask for more than 50, I cap it at 25. And that way they don't feel like they're being taken advantage of. They've been
Right.
had all the things, you know what I mean?
That's good
And
business.
they know they could come back and redo it. So that's one of the things that I do that's very different from what other service industry people do when they require deposits. I know they don't let them transfer. I do. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, things be happening. You have to cancel sometimes.
Never.
Money is funny. Cereal, $7. I understand. Use it for another thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I try to make it accessible for everybody. I don't want to be the difficult makeup artist.
Good. Good. Well, you're gonna go far. I already know it. You're gonna go real far. So let's switch lanes and let's talk about TikTok for a minute and talk about social media content. So
Okay.
how long have you actually been doing that?
I have been in social media since 2015. I started on YouTube.
Okay.
My speech, the speech students, they were the ones that convinced me to do it. Because I would get up every morning, beat my face to the gods for a tournament, and I would get on the bus. They was like, "Oh my God, Miss A, your face is so good. You should do YouTube." And at the time, I was knocking on 30. So I was like, I'm too old to be getting on that.
Too old. What?
I just swore up and down 30 was old. Baby, 30 was not, it's not old. If I could redo 30 all over again, I would. Because
Same here.
listen, I like 30 now that I think about it. But they convinced me. And my very first video, I'll never forget it. I was in my bathroom and we had an Angry Bird shower curtain up for my child and my niece.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was in my background. I was so nervous. I was like, all right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do. And I had this very grainy camera that my mama had. And it was like, they get one of the little camcorders and you just recording things. It was one of those. And I was like, oh my God, this is so amateur. But like, I eventually got comfortable with it. And I produced a
You
lot.
gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. I produced a lot of videos and I got a nice good following on there. I have 3.28 thousand on YouTube right now.
Okay.
And then of course, Instagram was where you also needed to be to promote your YouTube page, right? Because at the time they didn't have shorts. So I would have to go to Instagram to promote and then Facebook to promote. So I was using both of those platforms to do that. And I would edit down clips so you could see like a trailer of what I was doing, which will entice you to go over there. And then I got hit up by TikTok after they revamped from Musically to TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey, we need creators to come to the platform and use the platform. And I was like, all right, bet. Got on there, made a whole account. This was in 2018. Made a whole account. And I was like, how is this different from Instagram? How is this different from Vine? Like, it didn't make sense to me. It wasn't explained properly. So I left the account. The account was still there. I didn't mind my business. Went back to Instagram because, of course, that was the platform that was the catalyst to my YouTube. It was attached to everything. I was getting my brand deals. I was getting my PR packages because of the work that I was doing on those two platforms.
Right.
And then the pandemic hit and everybody got bored. I went back to TikTok and I was like, oh, y'all doing all of this?
Yeah. TikTok really blew up during COVID.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It really did. Because we were bored. We had nothing else to do but scroll.
People was making movies. People was doing everything. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I love it. You have a huge following on TikTok.
Yes, I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared for that at all. When the algorithm back then, that algorithm was very different, so it was easy to go viral. And I remember the first time I went viral, it was because I cussed out a kid. They was playing
a kid at school. Oh, was playing outside your house.
They was playing in my comment section.
Oh,
and I got them together.
I heard that.
I was like, first of all. And because I got them together so well, they was like, I like you. You spicy.
They're fine.
The kids are equal opportunity. You play grown-up games, you get grown-up prizes, okay? So I got them together. And of course I didn't curse at them, but I definitely I checked the hell out of them, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my first following. And I started doing skits and I started doing makeup things and people were liking that. And it just continued to grow and grow and grow. And now I'm at 211,000 followers.
That girl getting it. That girl getting it. I love it. So let's talk about managing all of that And what tips can you give to somebody who's starting out in social media or being a content creator like myself or anyone else?
Do not focus on your followers, like the follower count.
Mhm.
Don't do it. Don't focus on follower count. Don't focus on likes. Don't focus on engagement. Have fun. Focus on the content that you are putting out. The people that want to see it will see it.
Right.
That's the biggest tip, because I rarely do. The thing that frustrates me is right now that's upsetting me with TikTok is
Mhm.
they're not showing my content to the people that already follow me. I don't really care about you not showing it to people that don't know me. You're not even showing it to them.
Right.
Like, why am I having 300, 400 views and I'm at 211,000?
Yeah.
You should, not even 1% of my followers are seeing me. And they're coming back like, I didn't unfollow you. How did they unfollow me from you? Yeah, they're removing my followers as well too. So that's what's the upsetting part. But like when it's moving, like even YouTube is moving right now, I see the rise in subscribers. I'm grateful they are there.
Mhm.
But if I pay attention to that, it's gonna throw me off. And I
Got
want to make authentic content. I want to make content that people like. So I want to focus more on that and producing what everybody likes. So also have to remember that too. It's not about what you like, it's about what they like.
Mhm.
So you have to produce what they like and keep it moving. But don't focus on the counts. Look at your analytics so you know what to do,
Mhm.
but don't focus on it. Like if they ain't there, they ain't there. It'll hit, and it'll hit out of nowhere
Yeah.
on something so random that
Yeah.
you didn't even realize that. Look again, because remember I said out a kid, and I didn't even think people was gonna like that video. And I was like, oh, hey, thousands.
Blew up. Right. Hi.
How
Welcome to my
y'all doing?
page.
Fancy meeting you here.
So what about so you know how when an artist comes out with a freshman album and they hit really big, and then they're real nervous about the sophomore album because they don't want it to flop. So did you ever get those same type of feelings like after you went viral? No.
Because the intention was never to go viral in the first place. The intent was to get my message across, and
Okay.
my message was received, and then it just kept going. So I'm not really, that doesn't really frighten me. You know what I mean? Because I also know, knowing why TikTok suppresses content like that, and what the note, because I put the same videos on YouTube, and they do astronomically better with a smaller following.
Mm.
And so I know it's not me, it's them. So because I know that much, um, one of the things that I focus on is just making sure that my audience is satisfied. My audience is content. My audience is happy. My audience is getting the information that they need to get. And that's what the focus is. And that's what everybody's focus really should be. Don't focus on what isn't and what's not happening and all the things, and focus on what can be.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So before I ask the last question, is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to share with us? Because of course I want you to get your socials out there so everybody can follow you on your TikTok so they can laugh as much as I be laughing. So and all over the place. But right before you do that, is there anything else that we need to cover?
You did want to talk about the sorority.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up.
You're
So please
welcome.
tell us about Theta Gamma Tau.
So I am a member and social media committee co-chair
Okay.
of Theta Gamma Tau Sorority Incorporated. We were founded October 4th, 2022 by some phenomenal women that I call my dear friends and my sorors. And I'm a part of the very first line that they started after the founders. This is the legacy line. I am the ace. My line name is Spotlight. So that's where
Okay,
Spotlight
Spotlight.
Artistry came from.
Got you. That's what's up. That's what's up. So
um,
what commonality do you all have?
what do you mean?
As far as because I know there are some sororities out there for like army veterans, female army veterans and things like that. So is there anything specific that you all have in common?
We are Black founded and predominantly Black. All of our members at the current moment are Black, whether they are African American, Afro Caribbean, African, what have you, we're all Black. We're right. So we are a service organization. So we're very heavy on community service, giving back to our community, very big on woman empowerment, specifically Black woman empowerment, about environmentalism and environmentalism, preparedness, domestic violence, Black reproductive health, mental health. We did an entire campaign for the month of September that I spearheaded. It was one of the other co-chair's idea, and then I put it together. I used my speech skills for that.
Close.
And we did it for suicide prevention. So I did a 4-part series on suicide prevention. I basically wrote an oratory. One of the other founders also did speech at HF. So she was like,
Oh,
I
really?
was like, she literally did it. So I was like, I wrote an oratory. She said, I knew it. I knew you wrote an oratory. So, but yeah, so we are growing rapidly. All of our lines have been big. My line was 11 deep. We just crossed the line in this past summer, and that one was also 11 deep.
Okay.
So we have over, if I'm not mistaken, it's over 40 of us. We're getting ready to start we're starting 3 spring lines because we have regions now.
I love
So
it.
we're preparing for that. And so we're going to get a bunch of new women in,
Yeah.
and we're doing a doggone thing right now, and I'm very proud of us. I'm very proud of how far we've come very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the connections that we've made, and I'm excited to see where it goes, because we are a very strong, resilient group of women.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
And we, for us to only be 2,
Mhm.
we've done a lot, and so I'm grateful for this organization.
That's a blessing. I love it. I love it. I shout out to them, and all you wonderful ladies and the new recruits that's getting ready to join you all.
Mhm.
So as far as well, I know you can't really talk about it probably. Um, so do you all follow those same type of guidelines when you have a line? Like we have secrecy, or we don't tell other people what we're doing and that type of stuff. So
Yep.
good. All right,
Yep.
so there you go. Delete that question. But yeah, so last question I want to ask. If you could go back in time and you can talk to your younger self, young Aly Jae, in high school, what would you tell her? Or what advice would you give her?
Oh. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are obnoxiously talented in a variety of different ways, and it's okay to play with all of your talents. It's okay to utilize all of your talents. It's okay to be creative in a variety of different sectors. You do not have to box yourself in. You can do it all.
There you go. I love it. All right, Aly Jae, thank you so much. So look, let's give everybody your socials, please, where they can follow you.
So on everything except for YouTube, I am Aly Jae for real. The number 4 real. So that's Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade. I am on that. That's the new TikTok married Pinterest version of an app.
Okay.
Um, and I believe there's something else on Threads. So I'm also Aly Jae for real on Threads. On YouTube, just type in Aly space J. You'll find me.
Is it JAE or just J?
JAE.
Okay. Y'all got that? Good. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Aly, for doing this. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your talent. I appreciate all the laughs you've given me. Because again, I'm gonna say it again, your TikTok is off the chain. I love it. I'm sure you do. I love it. And it's not just makeup, you guys. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, she be talking about some stuff. And sometimes be getting into TikTok drama too. So if you into that, if you want to know some things, that part, if you want to know some things, follow her, like for real. Because ever since I started this, like my algorithm has changed. So I get a lot of motivational stuff and a lot of, so having somebody like you in my algorithm and a couple of other people keep me up to date on something, So I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. But again, thank you so much.
No
I appreciate you,
problem.
Aly. And yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and say my tagline, and then we're gonna get out of here. So I normally say, your crown may be tilted, but never ever let it fall. You're more than welcome to say it with me if you want to.
Oh, say it one more time so I can get it right.
Okay. So your crown may be tilted, but never ever let it fall.
Your crown may be tilted, but never ever let it fall.
That's right. Show you right. You ready?
Yes, all right.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Your
Your
crown may be
crown may be
tilted,
tilted,
but
but
never
never
ever
ever
let it
let
fall.
it fall.
All right. Peace and love.
Redirection. Tired of testing.